Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
My question is, what do you think is the biggest threat to today's India's democracy?
Well, to be very honest, I think the biggest threat is right now in power. It's the misuse of institutions under the control of the government to stifle democracy. That's the biggest threat, because honestly, the voters of India are entitled to vote for whoever they want. But the people who are ruling with a sacred trust. They have to uphold the Constitution. We all take oaths in the name of the Constitution when we are elected to Parliament. And in that Constitution, there are some principles we're supposed to respect. Above all, that everyone is equal. Second, that no one should be attacked or demonized because of their religion, their faith, or their ethnicity. Third, that people should be able to live in peace and pursue their dreams. Not that they should have their churches attacked and burned down or destroyed. Not that you should have a situation where you're tied to a tree and flogged to death because you happen to be from the wrong religion. All of these things have happened. It's just unforgivable, right? And on top of that, the threat to democracy comes when the safeguards that have been built into the Constitution suddenly start losing their strength. When the autonomous institutions are no longer that autonomous. When the Election Commission seems to be having to listen to a very strong and overweening government. When even some levels of the judiciary appear to have been intimidated. When the media is not as free as it used to be because it finds itself undergoing certain problems when they criticize people close to power in this country. Or when you have a situation in which the autonomy of certain investigative bodies is turned around into making them instruments of the ruling party. Many of you will have been reading your newspapers or watching the news, and you know that there have been every day for the last several years, there have been stories of ED raids, CBI raids, income tax investigations. Has it not struck you as very curious that all these are only on opposition politicians? That everybody in the BJP is apparently lily whites, pays all their taxes on time, their account books are clean, they've done nothing wrong? Is that possible to believe? And especially, you will find that some people are regularly attacked and demonized by the BJP for being corrupt, and various charges are made and so on. But somehow if they join the BJP, if they've taken a dip in the holy waters, they're completely pure and clean. No one has any further attack on them. This is not democracy. Democracy is about everybody being equal and everyone being treated equal by our government. That's not happening. So when I see the pillars of our democracy holding up our country being misused, being weakened, then I fear for my democracy. I really think that, if you look at the last few years of the UPA government of which Congress was leading, and Dr. Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister, it was a government which every day came under attack in the media. There were demonstrations in the streets. There were accusations being leveled. Did you hear of any journalists being arrested, any opposition MP being thrown in jail, any owners of newspapers suddenly getting income tax raids? Nothing. The government behaved as a democratic government should behave, which is that this is a democracy. People have the right to say things even if they're not true and not justified. We have to prove ourselves in the court of law and in the court of public opinion. But today's government doesn't believe that. That's the problem. That's the threat to democracy. There's a famous institute in Sweden called the Varieties of Democracy Institute, VDEM Institute. And they every year issue a report on the state of democracy around the world. They have downgraded India last year from a democracy into an electoral autocracy. What does that mean? It means that people are free to elect their government, but the elected government then behaves like a dictatorship, like an autocracy. That's what's happening.